Howdy, y'all.
Hi, guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From RNA Music, your favorite mom and pop guitar shop and music lesson studio. I should say music lesson studio and guitar shop. Deep in the heart of Texas, which is where we are this very evening. Welcome to another episode of Ask RNA, where Angela and I are going to answer questions.
Mostly Ryan.
Mostly me up in here. People like you, though.
They like me, but they never ask me questions. So I just sit here. I'm like their Vanna White.
There's some questions. I told them last week to ask you questions.
Well, see, that doesn't count.
Oh. Anyways. All right. Let's get to the questions.
All right.
Welcome back. If you are one of our longtime viewers, if you're new here, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell. If you do that, you'll get notified of all of our future video uploads, which you don't want to miss.
Nope.
If you've been watching us for 10 years, you
Thank
probably
you.
don't want to miss it. Thank you. I forgot. I meant to write down, this is episode like 240.
Something like that.
8 or 9. I keep trying to remember to do that. But
Yeah.
we're nearly to 250 Ask RNA episodes. That's pretty random.
Yeah.
Not random. That's pretty
Rad.
rad. That's what I was thinking. All right. Anyways. Yeah, we're going to answer questions
Okay.
from all over the world. From
Sounds
people all over the world. Let's do it. All right. First question. Multi-Sooner 1. What effect do you think the coronavirus will have on the guitar industry and music industry as a whole? Hashtag Texas Music.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. A World Health Organization question, Angela.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know.
I don't think I don't think
it
it'll
will.
have an
I
effect.
really don't think it will. It depends on if someone contracts the coronavirus at a shipping yard, or a crew member carries it and infects like a whole group of people. I mean, if they're not shutting down flights, if they're not shutting down schools on the West Coast, then it's not as a big a deal as, I mean, it is a big deal, but it's not a globally bigger a deal as
I don't think
as
it's
shutting down things and affecting industry. I don't think that it's not, because Japan's still functioning. Parts of China are still functioning.
I think all of China's still functioning.
Yeah, it's like nothing's shutting down.
Yeah.
People are still going to work. People are still, because loss and disease have been with us since the dawn. So it's sad, it's tragic, but I don't think it's going to affect the music industry as a whole.
Yeah.
Maybe certain people who,
If because there are a lot of guitars made in China.
manufacturers, yes.
I mean, of budget guitars. There's no
Right. But if like the small, their version mom and pop people are affected or contracted, then I can see whoever orders from those specific people might have a delay in their shipping or something like that.
Like if you had an entire factory where the entire factory in China got the virus, then
right.
yeah, that could probably cause some delays.
Yeah, or Korea, or wherever that. But
it seems like I haven't gone real deep looking at. Have you?
no, I try to avoid it at all costs. I'm not that hyper.
It seems like
affected by things like that.
not to downplay the people
seriousness
who have
of it.
lost their lives because of it.
Right.
Because there have been casualties. It seems to be that most of those were people, like older people or people with underlying health conditions, not unlike in the United States where a lot of people have died from complications from the flu.
I think there was last year, I think there was 16,000 Americans died
From the flu.
16,000.
Just Americans.
Just Americans, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't remember what they're saying the death toll so far is on this. I thought it was like 2,000 people. Maybe.
Yeah. It's a good number of people.
It's not like 5.
Right. It's a good, when you're just talking about 1,000, when you're saying 1,000, that's a good number of people. But I don't think that it's going to, unless those people were in charge of building things. It's so spread out. You're thinking of a lot of Asia. You're talking billions of people. And that's really not, a concentrated area.
Yeah.
It'd be different if like a whole entire island was evacuated or quarantined, or a whole entire town or province was quarantined. So until that, hopefully it never gets to that.
Yeah. Now it seems, again, I haven't looked too deep at it, but it seems like a lot of people have gotten the virus and recovered.
Yes.
Just like people get the flu and recover.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know.
I don't think it will impact the guitar manufacturing community. I don't think that it will.
I would pray or hope that it doesn't.
Right.
That's not anything. I pray it ends soon. I pray people get the help that they need and the medicine that they need and recover, with the least amount of fatalities as possible. But, if it gets to the point where a whole industry is affected, then
we've got some
we have
serious
big
problems.
Troubles. We have more troubles than just the music industry.
Right.
Who cares about guitars if a whole entire industry is affected by a disease?
Yeah, for sure.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think that it will, but we will see. Hopefully it won't. So.
Yes, hopefully it won't.
All right, thanks for the question. On a somber note, right? That's a good
start.
Serious question.
Kick the cow in the out
Let's
the gate.
just,
Right.
Oh, my battery's about to die.
Alphas.
Dang it, Ryan. Like you didn't even know you're going to be shooting a video today. Could have changed batteries already. I changed the battery.
Yay.
I should have done that before.
Yeah.
Next question, Andrew Van Leeuwen. Leeuwen? Is that right?
Sounds right.
Possibly. What's that purple Strat with the black perloid pick guard? Oh, you're talking about this guy or girl? This guy? This is a Firetone. Firetone. Focus. Focus. Just yell at the camera until it focuses. It's a Firetone. What's the model? ST2 in Spark Modern. Yeah, so it's just basically a budget, S-type guitar. Range about for $249.
It's pretty.
It's pretty.
And you want it.
You should
get it.
You should get it.
That's what it is. It's a guitar that you should own.
It's a guitar that you should buy from Arnie Music.
Don't you want this guitar? Don't you need this guitar in your life?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's calling out to you. Yeah.
Smells like a guitar.
Smells like purple.
Yeah. So Firetone is just a local brand out of Western Louisiana. We know a guy. It's a very small mom and pop kind of thing. And they kind of spec'd out and, designed some guitars, imported them, and asked us if we would be interested in carrying them at our store. And we said yes, because they were a friend of a friend. Yeah. John and Wendy from J&W Music in Bossier City. Bossier City. Not to be confused with Shreveport, Louisiana. They carry Firetones at their store. I said, hey, check them out. They're great, budget guitars. I would compare them. They kind of similar to, a $249 Fender Squire-ish. It's that kind of thing. But the thing that Firetone that they're doing is he's bringing in some pretty unique colors, right? That's the thing. I haven't really seen a Squire in this color. Or, this blue one right up here. People asked about that. That's also a Firetone. We got a couple of Firetone tellies. So yeah, that's basically what it is. I'm supposed to do some videos. Eventually, I'm gonna do some like unbox. I never did do an unboxing, I don't think. But just some demo videos. So yeah, $249.
Okay.
There you go. So that's what it is.
It's like spin it one more time.
I am gonna spin it many more times. So yeah, you're probably not gonna find much about them online because they're relatively new.
Yeah.
It's kind of a regional thing here. So yeah, that's what they are. They got some sexy colors.
They're nice.
Yeah. Call me. Next question. David Munoz. Hey, RNA. So is it summer yet? Can't wait for Angela's vocal lessons. Me too. We see all the guitars hanging on the wall, but just a few on your website. What's all that about? Hashtag Texas Music. Hashtag KTMA. Hashtag Hope Mama is okay. Hashtag what was that alarm noise? So all the hashtags.
Yeah.
David Munoz, you're a legend. So, okay. This has come up before. Previous Ask RNAs and various videos over the years. So we kind of answered this a few times. And it's come up in some other videos as well. So, here's the deal. I don't have time to update the website, basically. So that's kind of what it is. I just don't have time. And it's not been a big priority for me because we're pretty busy with local business, and we're actually really extremely busy with teaching lessons, which is kind of our primary bread and butter that we do here at RNA Music. And so getting everything on the website, it really takes a back seat to all the other things that I have to do around the shop. And to be honest, because I was telling someone today actually about this, it's like, I've had this before where I put something up on the website and then later the day someone came in the store locally and bought it. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta make sure I go take that off the website.
Right. So
managing digital inventory and all that, because I hate to have something up there that's not actually there, and then somebody buy it and look, oh, I'm sorry, we don't actually have that in stock because it's gone or whatever. So that's why. Just haven't done it. And I was talking to my friend Ike, Flipside Music in Denver, Colorado, who we never mention in our videos ever, but if you're in the Denver metro area, you should go check out Flipside Music. We're really good friends, and we've become great friends over the years. He has a music store, we have a music store. We worked together in the past on some things, and we're talking, and they've really been growing, and I hit him up on this website advice. Because actually our current website is a suggestion that he gave me because it's a little bit easier than the previous one we had. The previous one we had, I could not get it changed.
It was ridiculous.
It was stupid. And the guy who was trying to do it for me would never answer my emails. Anyways, so Ike, Flipside, they have a website and they have a lot of their stuff on it. But we were talking, he said, for them, the majority of their business is local anyways.
Right.
So a very small percentage of their revenue comes from actual web sales. And he's fine with that. They've worked hard to have a very strong local following. Then everything that goes online is sort of just cake.
Right.
It's extra. And that's a little bit like us too. We've kind of set things up here to where we do a lot of stuff locally. And so we're not kind of slaves to our online store or to our retail side of things anyways, because we built our business around teaching. It's our primary focus. It's always been our primary focus. The retail has just kind of been a fun thing on the side. And of course, there is nobody out in East Texas around us. So for us, it's kind of like, hey, if we sell one of these, great, awesome. It's cake. If not, it's okay too. I'm not stressed out at the end of the month trying to pay bills. So mostly it's that, and yeah,
that's it.
I'm juggling.
What was that alarm?
Hashtag what was that alarm? Okay,
there it is.
There you go, David. I swore I meant to turn that off. I really meant to turn that off. What's that alarm? That is my reminder to take some medicine because I forget
all the time.
Yeah, so I have reminders to remind me, hey, take your medicine, because I forget. What are you gonna do?
What you got?
And then I'm asking Angela, did I take that pill today? She's like, I don't know. Is it in your box? I should have put it in my box.
Yes, instead of put that on me to remind you, there's a little thing that they make in drugstores that tell you when.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And you put your
and
little...
he owns them. He
Put
owns
your little
nighttime
thyroid medicine
and
pills in
daytime
there.
and stuff. Yeah. That's what the alarm was.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't have the stuff on, because he doesn't. He has overwhelming amounts of things that he has to do, and actually reminding to do his medicine comes before putting things up on the website.
I don't even... Yeah. So, it's nothing serious.
That's just how he works.
Yeah. So, yeah. I have reminders. Surely you guys have reminders in your phone that remind you to do things. So
Everybody does.
surely they do. Mine just doesn't. Even when I
If you don't, you really should.
Yeah, even if I don't, even if I have it on silent, it goes off because I think, oh, it's on silent, it won't bother me.
It has to be on Do Not Disturb.
Alarms are supposed to alarm you, but yeah, there you go. So at some point, I may get better about uploading stuff online. Maybe not. What's crazy though is we do a lot of.
Because I don't think it's that important. I'm not saying because you won't be able to. I'm just saying I don't think honestly it's that important.
Not really.
There's so many other things that we have to get done.
Right. So, interesting point. There was a period of time several years ago where we had a lot of stuff on our website.
Never did.
And we didn't really sell much of it. The majority of our sales, even then when we had everything on the website.
And he was taking perfect pictures. He was getting it all queued up. And he had all the prices. He was doing all this stuff. And it was like... And people were still coming in or calling us and ordering it more than they were actually going to our website. So it was like a lot of work for not a lot of...
return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by that.
I forget about that. Yeah.
Not because I think that you wouldn't. I think because, honestly, we've gone that road and it's just...
Well, we've done it before and it's like the return for all the labor was like not that great.
Yeah.
For the amount of hours I have in a day to work. All right. Awesome. Thanks for the question, David Munoz. You're not the only one asking. I hope that
we understand because y'all want to support us and y'all...
Yeah.
You know, but honestly, I love the idea of like old school. You either walking in here or you calling us on the phone and us having a conversation than just going on a website. It's very sterile. It's not family oriented. It's not us. You know.
There's not much relationship. I was telling somebody that today, actually. A guy who's been in the store. You're in my brains. And he was talking about that. I said, honestly, because we used to have that. But it was weird because I'd wake up, there'd be email. Oh, you sold a thing in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh, man, I wonder who it's going to. I hope it's not fraudulent, And
there's the other thing, too, is all the fraudulent people that try to take advantage of that.
And so what I really liked was, and I told this guy that... what would happen a lot of times, and what I really liked is we'd put a YouTube video up about a guitar, put a picture on Instagram, something on Facebook. Somebody would see it and go, oh, that's cool, and they would shoot me an email, or they'd call me on the phone, hey, I watched this video about this Washburn acoustic, do you still have it? I'm like, yeah, I just put the video up yesterday. Like, can I buy it? Yes, you can. And so I never even had a chance to put it up. But there was a dialogue. There was a dialogue, and what's crazy is we've sold more custom CMG guitars in the last year or two than ever, and none of them, they were all like pre-ordered. Like someone would call, hey, can you get me a custom blah blah blah, here's what I want. Sure. We didn't order it and then wait to sell it. It was people ordering customs. So we've had a lot more of that in the last year or two, custom orders from brands we carry, which has been great. So all right, anyways, there you go. Thank you for the question, David. Next. I meant to say this earlier, but if you want to get your RNA Music swaggity swag, t-shirts, coffee cups, stickers, hoodies,
sweatpants,
socks, yoga pants, all of that stuff, there's a link below to our Teespring store. So like if you enjoy our videos and like what we do and you want to support us, since I don't have any guitars on my website, you can go buy some swaggity swag from Teespring.
Get your swag on.
We appreciate it.
Treat yourself.
Back to the questions. David, next question. Rohat Anyad. I hope I said that correctly. I might butcher your name. It's possible. This is for the next episode. You can certainly watch Star Trek Picard without paying for CBS All Access. You can watch everything without paying for it. Have you ever considered exploring those options? I really wish I had a guitar store like yours around here. The last one closed 15 years ago.
That's
oh
sad.
man, yeah, it is. It is sad. It is a tough business. It really is a tough business, and particularly when you're based 100% on retail sales. It is so brutal.
It really is.
So
That's why
it's
we're
tough.
not.
Yeah, that's why we didn't put all our eggs into we didn't want to become. I'm not trying to become the next Sweetwater or the next Chicago Music Exchange or Musician's Friend or whatever. It's like that's not our mission to sell $1 bajillion online and that's it. That wasn't our mission. So we have a different mission. So we're still here after 10 years. We're
To
still in
boldly
business.
go where no. Speaking of Picard.
It's a boldly music store
Reach
where no music store has
new
music
worlds.
stored before.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking about you can watch everything without paying for it. Have you considered that? I assume you're asking about pirating.
I think it's probably more like trial offers, like because you can do like 7 days of watching, free, cancel anytime.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what you were
later
thinking?
on. Well, later on, after we were talking, kind of going through the questions earlier, we're kind of skimming through everything. I thought, well, maybe it's like this because I've done that before, where I'm like, I love this, but I don't want to pay for it. So I'll just do the free trial.
I think did we do that with HBO? I think we did.
Yeah, we did.
We did you got 7 days or something, and we're like, nah, we don't want that.
Yeah, we'll cancel it immediately on the 6th day. So we don't
Immediately, it's like I don't want to pay for that.
So we're gonna have to binge watch this every day,
yeah.
hours, so we can get the whole show
Okay.
and catch up with it. So yeah, there are ways to do it where
Sure. Is there a free trial for CBS?
I don't know. I think Hulu did a free trial. I usually get those sometimes because I'm like, oh man, I missed that whole season, so I'll catch up with the season until the next time it runs around.
Then cancel it.
Then I'll do my free trial again.
Okay.
But
I had not
after once
thought
in a
of
while,
that.
they won't let you do multiple free trials.
You can't free trial every.
But it's kind of
3
like,
weeks.
how the movie store here in town is like, we haven't heard from you in a while. How about 3 free movie rentals to get
Come
you
on
in the
in,
store?
we'll give you a free.
Sometimes Hulu will do that. It's like because I'll wait a whole entire year, or maybe a year and a half before I actually sign up again. And they're like, hey, we'll give you it's one of those,
Holy crap!
and it has dirt on it.
That's a Texas mosquito.
And it has dust on it. Its legs, plus its little heart.
I should have swept earlier instead
It was a
of
bug.
putting stuff on the website.
So and they were like, hey, we haven't heard from you in a while. How about we do this a month of free? Make sure you tell a friend about this. And so it turned into a really good deal there for a while. And I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and spend the next 6 months paying $7. I can do that for 6 months and then cancel it.
Yeah.
And so we've canceled it. I think we haven't had Hulu in over
I don't
a
remember the
year.
last time I watched that.
Yeah, it's been over a year since we've had that. But anyways, there are ways.
Okay. I kind of felt like he was asking about, there's websites you can go and torrent,
Oh, okay.
illegal pirated copies. I mean, you could find everything online.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought he was asking.
You have some friend coming over. Hey man, do you have ABC All Access? And they're back there filming it on their phone, and somebody says, "No, man, I'm on my phone. I'm watching my friends."
Well, yeah.
And then they upload a pirated.
If you're talking about pirated stuff, no, I never really thought or considered that because I feel like that's a really good way to get viruses on your computer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When it's shady, illegal stuff to begin with, your chances of getting some shady programs on your computer are probably relatively high as well. But
equal.
No, so that's not something other than the fact that it's kind of wrong.
It's stealing.
It's a little bit like people don't. You think about movies and television shows. It's like, yeah, they got $1 bajillion. CBS has got all the money. Sony, Disney's got all the money. But I don't know where you draw the line between like stealing music from artists, like small bands who are like trying to make it, and instead of buying their CD, you just downloaded it illegally.
Right.
Now, if they give it away for free, that's fine. That's on them. That's their decision. If they want to give away their music for free,
Sure.
cool, great. But if they don't, and they want to try to make some money,
Let them make money.
I don't know.
Capitalism.
But is there a line somewhere where like it's wrong if you're stealing from broke people, but it's fine if you're stealing from people with more money?
But really, honestly, at the end of the day, you're not really stealing from the industry. You're not stealing from the bigwigs upstairs. You're stealing from the guys who work in the offices. You're stealing from the janitor.
The catering company.
You're stealing from the smaller people down at the bottom.
The guys building the sets.
Because they have to. They're like, oh man, we've lost all this money. Who's the first person to go? It's not the bigwig.
Oh, it's not the executives.
It's going to be the secretary. It's going to be, the kid who runs the people who have the daycare
the key
inside.
grip.
It's going to be the catering
The best
guy.
boy.
Yeah. It's going to be those people, and those are like everyday, regular people who make,
like regular wages.
Regular wage, middle class wages.
Yeah, it's not the Sony executives.
Nah.
They're not going to lose any money.
They're going to be like, what's that? Did you hear something? Never mind. Anyways, they're not going to.
That's exactly how they sound.
They're not going to worry about it. And they're going to get their annual report or their quarterly report, and they're like, well, what can we do to pinch that we're going to have to lay off some people?
Yeah.
And the paid intern's going to get fired. And
get a lower bid on catering next time.
Exactly.
Don't use that company we use. They were too expensive. Get a cheap company.
Anyways, I don't know why we got on that rant.
I don't either.
But that's okay.
But if that's not what you meant,
yeah.
That's fine.
Either way, it was good. We
yeah.
gave you both
Good question.
answers for that.
Thank you, Rohat and Yad. Next question, just fun guitar. With the super fun questions.
Yes, always.
Hey there, thanks for answering. Hashtag Texas Music.
I
Hashtag
scratched myself.
KTMA. What did you do?
Sorry, I just scratched myself. That hurt. Oh, okay.
New question, does Texas have the death penalty, or did it
Y'all are
used to?
swinging high, man. Y'all are
Man.
just swinging low. What's a tense question?
Right? Coronavirus. Texas death penalty. We're going serious here.
Going down the pirating.
Pirating anything you want to watch, you can watch it for free. Love it. All right. So, does Texas have the death penalty? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We pride ourselves in the death.
I don't know if that's something to be proud of or not, but I knew that we did. But
It depends. It depends on who's receiving it.
Hey, if you come to my house and you try to hurt me or my family, you might receive the death penalty.
We do, because we don't always. I'm saying, like, we're a bunch of gunslingers here in Texas, and we're not.
Sure.
I keep holding.
That was it.
Left cage, top left.
Sides, remember that? They suck on that one. I gotta get better sides. Not bad, man.
Aim a little higher.
There you go.
That's right.
Cut to what
Barely
is it? Demolition Ranch.
Barely anyone in Texas has guns.
Cut to a thing from Demolition Ranch. But
Can a 50 caliber bullet go through a microwave? Let's find out today.
But we have no problem ending it on our own before the police get there. That's what's great about the rights of an American citizen. But when it comes to the death penalty, yes, Texas.
We do.
I don't think that they have done it in a while.
Yeah, so I had to look it up. So like in 2019, there were like 8, like maybe 8 or 13, which was like half of all the ones in the entire United States were in Texas. So we're not the only state that does it, but at least half of the ones in 2019.
Right.
Now, it's not all the time, though. That's the thing I was looking at.
No, it's not.
Because it was, back in the 1800s, yes, they would kill
All the
some
time.
folks. The
But
courts,
over the past...
the courts would do that.
Yes.
But then it became illegal for a while. But then, like in 1974, they brought it back.
Right.
I think that's correct. So since the 70s, it has been.
Because there was a while
thing.
where Texas was a mostly Democratic state. Democratic, yeah, it was Democrat. It was a Democrat state. It wasn't a
Way
Republican state. I mean, or Governor Ann Richards was a
That's right.
as a Democrat.
That's right.
In the
I always forget.
90s.
She was.
So we went from a very
I forget about her sometimes.
blue. Is that right? Democrats are blue. We went from a very
Yeah,
blue
yeah.
state to a very red state. And during the times when we were blue or Democrat, we didn't have a lot of the death penalty invoked. We
Yeah.
didn't have it a lot because the governor plays a part in
Yeah.
signing over on the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on what governors we had, depended on
It's.
when it happens.
I was reading up on it today because I hadn't really thought that much about it, and it's pretty heinous. The crimes you have to commit in order to be given the death penality is pretty intense.
Is that overall or just the state of Texas?
It's state of Texas.
Okay.
State of Texas.
Yeah.
Now other places, who knows? But killing a state employee, like murdering a state employee, killing someone, like if you're breaking out of prison and you kill a prison guard, or you kill, it's mostly murdering other people, and particularly state government officials. You could murder your neighbor and it's less intense than if you murdered, a police officer or a prison guard or whatever. So those kind of things, but then also like kids. Like if you kill someone under the age of 14 or under the age of 10, premeditated, like serial killer,
Serial-esque.
serial killing children's, that's bad. You're a bad person if you murder children a lot. And so,
Or even a little.
But
Let's clarify
there have
that.
been less and less people given the death penalty.
Yes.
And there was a period where a lot of them, there were several people on death row. They just changed it to life in prison, so they did kind of commute their sentences. But yes, we still have it. I think there's a few scheduled for 2020. I don't know who it is or what they did or any of that stuff.
That's
but
sad.
yeah, it was interesting. I did find that there were a couple of Mexican nationals that were executed in the last couple of years. I'm like, what was that about? They weren't even U.S. citizens. They were.
Well, we had a lot with the sex trafficking and raping
Well, and
and
the
murdering.
cartels.
And the cartels, yeah.
Those cartels, man. They're like
Zaffarana here in
They
Texas.
serious business. Anyways, yeah, I think we were the first though to use lethal injection. That was the thing. The first lethal injection
Was in the state
of a prisoner was here. So yes, we do. But like Angela said, I think probably a lot of that gets taken care of before the police show up. There was right here in Canton not too long ago. We have a friend, a student's grandfather was in his car in a parking lot, and 3 young thugs came up and started banging on his car and tried to drag him out of it and started beating him like an older man, like an old man. And these 3 young
whippersnappers,
and he pulled out his gun, he was
Youths.
about to. He was about to shoot those mofos.
because he had a concealed handgun
'Cause he had it?
license.
And he was being attacked 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3, and it was started off as 3, and I think it went to 4.
Yeah.
To 4 young men.
Yeah. And they were beating the crap out of this old guy. He ended up having a lot of medical. Now, he didn't shoot him. He pulled out his gun and he was about to. And of course,
He
then
stopped himself because he didn't want.
He's like,
he didn't want to take their lives over something like that.
he didn't want to
It's
kill
a
these
lot.
fools
That's a lot.
over. Well, that's a lot of restraint. You
It
know.
sure is.
But I don't know if
He
was
had every right though.
Yeah, he did. Sure he did. Absolutely. But he didn't.
Yeah.
But there are stuff like that happens
Everywhere.
everywhere, not just in America,
Honestly.
but
Or not just Texas.
yeah, for sure. I think it happens less here actually than a lot of other places. You ever been to Chicago? I hear it's pretty bad. I don't go there, but I don't know. All right,
There you go.
that's a pretty serious question.
Just fun guitar
Just
with all
fun
the
guitar.
interesting questions. Keeping the music or the questions alive.
About Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
So, thanks for the question, Chris. Next
It's like,
question.
I don't know if I want to move to Texas. What are you doing that you're worried about the death penalty?
What are you worried about sea life?
Right.
Like, let me find out what kind of prison sentences you guys hand out before I decide to come there. Oh, man. All right, next question. Jeffrey Egan. So what exactly are the popular guitars they're buying in your area? About all I see advertised are mostly shred guitars, although I have no interest in those because I'm old. You selling mostly LP style, Strat, Tele style, hashtag Texas music. All right. Well, locally, and probably not just locally, but the best-selling guitars are acoustic guitars. Like, hands down, we've sold more acoustic
Tons
guitars
of acoustic.
in 10 years
Than anything.
than any electrics. We have sold electrics,
Yeah.
and we've sold, I don't even know how many over the years.
Yeah.
Hundreds,
Oh my
probably,
gosh,
in
yeah.
10 years? Surely, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Easily.
Well, we had quite a few of.
Yeah. I would say hundreds.
Yeah, of electrics. So, but definitely more than that. Like, I don't even think, we don't even have any acoustics right now. I just
We
sold.
don't keep them.
I just sold the last acoustic yesterday. We had an acoustic, and I just sold it yesterday,
Yeah.
2 days ago.
We cannot keep them in the store.
So I've got to order more, which kind of goes back to, again, like when we started carrying Tajimas. So we're a Tajima dealer. They're getting more popular online. People are talking about them. Phil McKnight called me. He's like, or texted me. He's like, hey, Ryan, you should think about carrying Tajimas. I'm like, we already do, Phil? He's like, oh, I didn't even know. They're great. You should check. I'm like, I know. We already carry them.
Yep.
I got my first order in and I sold them like in a week and a half. I'm like, oh crap. I didn't even have time to put them on the website, even if I wanted to.
Even if you wanted to.
So, yeah, acoustics, hands down, are the most popular selling. And then after that, I'm trying to think. I don't even know. Like, probably Les Paul style guitars. We've sold a fair amount of, like Washburn Idols, which is their single cut kind of less polished looking guitar. We've sold a fair few CMG Ashleys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So acoustics hands down.
Definitely.
And then
Definitely acoustic.
we don't carry a whole lot of just
Lots of ukuleles.
yeah, a lot of just like shred guitars. Like anytime we've had like an
Shredding
Explorer guitar, those have always sold. Like took a long time. Like V's and Explorers don't sell really well. Or we had an Avenger, which I thought was cool. It took a long time to sell. So anything very
There was
overtly
that one,
metal.
What was it? The green Schecter?
Yeah,
We
that was
had
the
one
Avenger.
ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That was a cool. I thought, I guess I'm going to be keeping this. I guess I'm going to keep this. And then some guy came in and was like, I want to buy that.
And he was like, oh, I guess I can.
Yeah. Didn't even grind me on price. He's like, I'll pay that. So that's one thing we have learned over the years is when people come in and try to lowball us on prices, like, nah, that's all right. Because someone else will come in and be like, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pay you that for it.
And we have no problem
like,
holding on to it until that happens.
All right. All right, Steve. That works
Nice
for me,
work.
man. So, yeah. But, yeah, definitely acoustics. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
And probably more Gibson-ish style guitars. So, there you go, Jeffrey. Appreciate it, man. Great question. Next question. Pasty Gangsta. Pasty Gangsta. I just like to say that. Love the Ask RNAs. Question. Colored strings.
Who you call him colored?
Would you...
I just had to. I'm sorry. I'm being here.
That's highly offensive.
What?
Oh, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Would you use them? Have you used them? If pressed to try a set, what color on which of your guitars? Just put a set. I just put a set of neon yellow and an old black Iceman. Pretty sharp.
I bet.
Keep up the great work. Hope all is well with Dr. Angela's mother.
Yes, Mama's doing fine. Thank you, everybody, for asking because we're gonna have like 3 or 4.
Yes.
more
Last week,
Angelas.
Last week, Angela had to bail halfway through the video because her mama decided to slice her hand open.
Yeah.
Because she craves adventure.
Yeah.
Colored guitar strings. I actually, a long time ago, I had some. DR makes multiple color strings. I'm pretty sure I've had the black ones on one of my
I have the
guitars.
black ones on my ukulele.
Oh, those are ukulele strings. Those aren't DR, but yeah, you do have black.
Whatever, he's talking about color strings.
You do have colored strings on your ukulele.
Don't be dissing my black strings. Why are you getting upset because I said black strings?
I'm not. Black strings are great.
Why are you keeping me from talking?
I'm not.
Fight the power.
So back in the day, I tried a few sets of the DR strings, and Paul, our friend, the bitter bass man, he had some red ones, of course, on his bass because red is the color of evil and the darkness and Darth Vader, like the Sith, right? So now the problem that I had years ago was the coating of the color would flake off, like where your pick was hitting the strings.
Yeah.
So it was like black, and then it was kind of silvery where that coating was, and the coating really came off. And as that was happening, I was like, that's not cool. That kind of eliminates the point of the strings, is when like half the color's gone because of actually playing them. Now, I think over the years they must have fixed that, because I have a bass student right now, Caroline.
Oh, yeah,
Caroline, she rocks. If you go watch our Black Sabbath recital video or our last couple of Metallica recital videos, she's playing in it. She's great. But she has a black Schecter Stealth bass, which is pretty rad. I played it yesterday. I was like, here, play this acoustic bass because it sucks. I want you to see how hard it is. I'm over here like playing acoustic bass, like hands are dying because action super high. I'm like, let me see your Schecter. And I played it. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, it played so good. I was like, oh. And she's got, it's completely blacked out, the Stealth, which you can order one from R&A Music if you want. We are Schecter dealers. But she's got these super bright green strings on that bass, and it looks sick. Like, it looks awesome. I'm like, every time she takes the bass out of the gig bag, I'm like, that is freaking awesome. Just completely blacked out bass, these bright green strings, and the coating hasn't come off. The color hasn't come off, hasn't flaked off. So that's pretty cool. I would probably do the green strings on one of my black guitars. Like, you know, Luke Skywalker should have had a green lightsaber. Or possibly the blue ones, but so I think maybe over the years, in the last 20 years, they've probably improved their formula.
Right.
Because on her green strings, it is not flaking off where you play. So, how many of you guys and gals have color strings on your instruments or have tried them? I want to order some now. I talked to DR a couple of times, like, hey, maybe we should carry their strings, but maybe we should become dealers just so I can get color strings.
Maybe
we should. All right. You guys let us know what you think. Color strings, yes, no. What color do you like? Thank you.
And good night.
Pasty Gansta. Next question, Bubba Fang. Question for you both. Do you think shows like GLEE, etc. has any merit, or were they just fluff? Merit, I mean any educational value. Thanks, Ryan, for a little noodling through the Ampeg with your sweet LTD. God bless you all. Have a great week. Hashtag KTMA, hashtag R&A Music is legend. Okay. Now, I never watched GLEE, I don't think. So you probably watched it a little bit.
Yeah, I watched like the first 3 or 4 seasons.
Okay, so a lot more than I have.
Yeah, I did. I liked it.
Do you think that had any educational value, or is it just pure entertainment?
It was a little bit of both, because I think that there was a group, especially that generation. Of course, most of the GLEE casts now are in their late 20s and early 30s. And most, because, you know, they always cast 20-year-olds as teenagers. They never really
not actual teenagers.
Actual adolescents. But what I loved is that high school choirs or GLEE clubs are very popular. Pitch Perfect did a really good job in bringing the awareness to GLEE after the TV show, because that came on after that. Because college GLEE, not a lot of people know that there are college GLEE, collegiate GLEE clubs. But I think it brought awareness to that you can actually do this. And it put a really great spin because glee clubs are not like choirs. Choirs, they have a set amount of music they sing, mostly written music.
Yep.
They do a lot
Classical
of
type
like
stuff.
UIL, they do a lot of sight reading and stuff like that in classical music. Where glee clubs, on the other hand, are very small. They're a smaller group and it's all necessarily pop.
Dirty pop.
And it has a lot of like modern rendition, a cappella. It's not necessarily with an accompaniment unless there's like a live band. But the show Glee, it brought this awareness that you didn't have to be a certain type person in order to be interested in music, which I liked. I liked that there was a jock and there were head cheerleaders and there were, the outcast, and they ended up being this really close-knit family and of friends that...
Music brought them together.
Yes, but then because of the people who created the show Glee, they were our age and older. So the music that they were singing was like Journey, and they had, of course, they did a lot of the 80s. They did a Madonna special. They did a Michael Jackson special. They did Aretha Franklin and Stevie Wonder. And it brought back a lot of songs I think a huge group of kids forgot about. Mm-hmm. That really paved the way to everything that they know. All the John Legends and all the Bruno Mars and all the Meghan Trainors and even these ridiculous people that are out right now. The reason why they can do what they're doing is because of the Earth, Wind, and Fires and the Commodores who wore these ridiculous outfits, and the Elton Johns and all these, even Cher, and all these people who paved the way for ridiculous showmanship but awesome music. So I think it did play it was a little dorky, but it hit a lot of really great subjects on how to treat people with love and kindness and to find a commonality, which is music, and to think about that more than actually, what side of the tracks you grew up on, or what your sexual orientation is, or what color of your skin is, and or if you, one kid was in a wheelchair, and it was just really, I liked it. I liked it a lot that, it was almost like watching what we do. It's like keeping that music alive for the next generation. Mm-hmm. It's literally that. I wish more shows. Now, and then of course Glee turned and went more political, and it focused more on the kids' lives than the actual music, to the point where it took away from the music. And I thought that was sad, and I stopped watching it after that because I'm like, I don't need to.
That's not what you tuned in for.
I'm not here for the soap opera. I'm here for watching these people learn in the process of them learning music. So I thought it had its, good and it's not so great. Some of it was just dumb, but that's television for you. It's not,
It's no Star Trek Voyager.
Voyager. That it did what it did. And I think some shows, like I remember watching Fame as a kid, and I didn't even know where, was it in New York, the dance group, that I was like, I don't know who this is. I didn't know that this was, you could actually do something like this. Like I didn't know that people went to school to study just this. I didn't know that existed. And even though it was an actual school that it was based off of, it was just little shows like that. Even it added the drama to it, which keeps people interested. But it shows like that, it's cool to watch and see. And I think that it does have merit because it opens the eyes of kids like, oh, I didn't realize that I can do that.
Do we have this in our school?
I can actually do this? And that's what's great about Glee. Glee is a club. It's not, choir, where it's like a elective.
Where you get grades for it. And
it's just a group that any kid can start. Like any kid who wanted to do Glee Club with a person who is remotely likes music can put together a club, and it'd be Glee Club, and actually compete and stuff like that. So I love that it opened up the eyes of a bunch of kids that this can be possible, even if your school doesn't offer a music program, because a lot of schools don't anymore.
Yeah.
They can actually have a club and start a Glee Club if they wanted to. So yeah, I think it did. Long story, but
there you go. What do you guys think? Did Did you watch it? Did you love it? Hate it?
Yeah. I like that it had really cool music. Like, it went from, you know, what's it? I can't think of the name of the actual movie, but it was Barbra Streisand's Don't Rain on My Parade. Mm-hmm. And it introduced you to a group of young people who ended up going on to Broadway because their voices were so ridiculous and amazing. It's like, what? Who are these kids singing? Of course, they were young adults, but it was amazing. Idina Menzel, I think that's how you say her name, who's the voice of Elsa from, like, she did a guest spot on there for a while. On GLEE.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about something else.
No, GLEE. Like, she was, like...
What was the other thing you were just talking about?
Whenever Barbra Streisand song, they did Don't Rain on My Parade.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Barbra Streisand.
No, the girl did, like, they did songs like Barbra Streisand, Don't Rain on My Parade on there. Actually, Idina Menzel played the birth mother of the girl who sings Don't Rain on, and they did, like, this duet together. It was power. I was like, oh my gosh, that's some good singing. That is so awesome. I loved it.
I missed that one.
It was really good. We should watch it. It was good. Yeah.
There you go. That's what she thinks. I have no idea. I never watched it, so I couldn't tell you. Thank you, Bubba Fang, for the question.
Yeah.
Thank you for the answer.
Welcome.
Next question. Hank Rott's guitar. I spent my New Year's Eve playing Halo and looked at the clock, and it was suddenly 11 p.m. LOL. My next question. As I'm going to be becoming a parent, did you guys find it difficult to balance music with children? Well, congratulations.
Yes.
Becoming a parent, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to start with a little one.
Right.
So that happens.
I mean, unless you're adopting.
You could be adopting, right? It's been so long ago that our kids were little.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember. I don't really think so. Because I think it's just like...
Depends on what it was.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't gigging like in a band.
Right. If it was band practice at church...
Yeah.
It was difficult. I was even telling somebody the story just last past Sunday. And whenever we were in Tulsa at Church on the Move, I auditioned for the choir because I was showing them the clips from Church on the Move. And I went and I was like, okay, I want to do this. And so Ryan was working full time. We didn't know anybody up there. So obviously, as a mom, I have to take my kiddos with me. And I'm there auditioning in the sanctuary, this big, mega giant church. And Marcos, the music director, is on stage with the piano. And I was like, I have my kids with me. And he was like, that's okay, as long as they don't touch anything. And I was like, okay.
Boys,
and,
sit down.
Angie Woods, she preaches now up there. She was the secretary at the time. And he was like, Angie will help you, Angie will watch them. I was like, okay, well, I mean, they're pretty good boys. They're just boys.
But they're little.
Little boys. They were little boys. Aiden was probably 2, years old. That means, and then Nicholas was 7. Yeah. So little boys. And, but the whole time I was listening to him, and he asks me to sing Amazing Grace, and he's just starting it with the piano, and of course I'm just like, he's here, like at the side of me, and like I'm just watching the boys, like he's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Trying to like, please Lord, don't let my kids fight with each other.
My children.
I just don't want my oldest to hit my youngest. I just don't want to be embarrassed right now. But it's life, and he was a dad, and he understood and was very helpful with that. So stuff like that where we were like, okay, we have to bring the boys with us because it's just us, and we don't really have anybody with us. Then they just sat down. They had either video games or coloring books, or they just sat quietly. We trained them.
They didn't have phones, that's for sure.
They didn't have phones. We had little Game Boys or DSs at the times.
Nintendo.
When they were little bitty.
That's what kids had before phones.
Yes,
Game Boys.
They had Game Boys. And like when we had the shop on that side of the building in the smaller area, Aiden would just sit in one of the chairs, like our guests, our customer chairs, and he'd just sit there and play little games or you know, he'd just run around, or he'd sit in my lap, or we would, you know, have cartoons playing. That's why we still have a TV in here, because I would play Clifford the Big Red Dog, or we would put on, you know, Little Einsteins or something that would keep them occupied until, you know, they took a nap, and we'd have a cot in the back room, and they'd lay on the cot.
Yeah.
You just do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Now at home, it's a different subject, because, you know, Ryan can go into the other room and play on the guitar, you know, or watch TV.
You try to practice some guitar while SpongeBob's going on TV.
Yes.
You know, you find a way to practice low volume while they're like, I did remember that. I think I would sit, like when Nicholas was a baby, and I was still going to college and finishing my music degree, and you were at work, and I would be at home with Nicholas in our little, you know, on-campus family apartment. And he'd be, you know, sitting there in his diaper on the floor, like watching SpongeBob. And I'd be sitting on the couch with my practice pad and my sticks, like playing this percussion, like on a practice pad, obviously, not like full thing. But I'm trying to practice music I had to learn for class, and I'm watching him at the same time. I mean, it can be done, you know, and you can practice. Like I'd sit there and play guitar if I wanted to play guitar.
You know, they want to come over and take Ryan's drumstick and want to play on the practice pad too, or want to, you know, strum his guitar, you know. And Ryan got Nicholas like a little plastic guitar when he got a little bit older, and so he'd play with Dad, and then Aiden did the same thing, and you know, we have pictures of them sitting next to each other with their little toy guitars while Ryan's playing on his Explorer or something like that. And
yeah,
I mean, whenever they're babies, if it's a part of your life, it'll be a part of their life, and it won't be something that is so like, oh, what'd you get? This is so new and foreign to me. I need to touch it. I need to, you know, or the sound of it hurts my ears. You know, Ryan would be playing guitar, and we would be a part of band music, mostly worship teams, and you know, even when I was pregnant, I sang worship, and it was so. They were always around it. And because of that, whenever they hear drums go off, it doesn't scare them. When they hear a loud amp, it doesn't faze them one single bit. And so Ryan can go off and say, hey, I'm going to go practice. And they're not going to wonder, well, what is he doing? Why is he doing that? Because it's a part of their life. And it's been a part of their life since they were babies.
Little bitty. You would think they'd be into music, but neither one of them really are like obsessed with music.
What's up with that?
I mean, Nicholas plays the bass, which, let's face it, is not very hard. He plays bass.
He does a good job.
He does a good
job. Yes.
But he's not like sitting around, Dad, check it out, I just learned this new song on my bass. Like, he doesn't just sit down and play bass for funsies.
No.
You know, so he's not like obsessed with it. And Aiden's really not, he likes music, but he's not into playing an instrument.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing. They're doing their own thing.
They do their own thing.
We never really put that on them in any ways.
We should force them to play.
We should
make them
do it. You know, neither one of us.
Lessons.
I mean, but even I wasn't like that. I grew up in a singing family, and I sang for a little while, kind of like Nicholas. But then I was just like, I don't want to do it anymore. And until I married him, which wasn't too long a period of time between then, but from the time we got married until 10 years into our marriage, we really didn't, other than worship, we didn't really like music like we do now. So I never really did anything with music for 10 years of my adult life, all my 20s, other than having babies and being around you. So I never really thought I would be here or now. So, I mean, they can do something else and then totally, like I worked in a hospital.
Yeah.
And did all that. Okay. But now I'm in music now. So it could be, they could be in their 30s and be like, yeah, I'm going to totally pick up this guitar and just start, or in their 20s, because both of them are still really young.
Yeah.
Neither one of them are in their 20s yet. So, you know, it's a part of who they are. So, balancing it, you just do it.
Yeah,
just
you
like you do anything else.
It's like, do you want to get healthy? Like, how do you get healthy when you have kids?
No, that's too extreme. That's too extreme.
Yeah,
it's more like, do you, you know, get up in the morning and take a shower and brush your teeth? And, you know, how do you watch television with your family? How do you, you know, it's just as simple as something like that. It's not anything, you know, strenuous, and it shouldn't be. It should be something fun. you know, give your kids little drum sets and xylophones, and like both the boys had a plastic drum, plastic guitars, little flutes and horns, and plastic harmonicas, and they always had some kind of musical instrument. So whenever they saw us on their instrument, they would go dig out their little things and play on the floor with us, or they'd want to sit and play on, you know, and sing, and had little microphones, you know, those little vibration, those
We were like the Von Trapps, basically.
Yes, we were. We were totally the Von Trapps.
Yeah. It can, you know, it can be done, you know.
It totally can.
So, good luck.
Yes.
Enjoy.
And congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, man. Yeah, next question.
Rolling right along.
Big Johnson, hashtag Texas Music. Have you ever come across guitar players filing down the edges of their pick? I met a guitar player who did this and never understood why. I have not come across that.
Never in my life.
I don't think I have ever seen that in all my years of being in music. I'm not sure why. Now I have come across people who like scratch up their picks to give it more grippy grip, where you're going to actually, and I do that sometimes too on mine. Now I'm doing where I drill holes in mine, which is fun. Just it's super fun to drill tiny little chihuahua teeth sized holes in your picks, but never like filing down the edges. That's kind of interesting. I assume they do it to make it easier or feel like they can play faster or whatever, but I have never faced that. Who's that? Oh,
Nicholas.
What do you say?
I don't know. Is he getting off work?
Yes, he's getting off work.
Okay.
Speaking of our children, that's our son.
Balancing things right there.
Yeah. Oh no, I've never seen.
I've
this.
seen, like with him, he has some really thick picks where I can see where it's just worn off, or like you can see that where he's had his hand kind of has rubbed down. Like some of the picks, they look imbalanced, like they're a little bit thinner, but not purposeful.
Yeah, I've never purposely done that. So.
No. That's interesting.
That's a good one. Anybody watching this, do that, file down their picks.
And if you do, tell him why.
Tell Big Johnson why you do that. He wants to know. So, thanks for the question.
And I'm actually kind of curious.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too. I don't know. Hey, yeah, just get a thinner pick. I don't know. You want a thick pick with beveled edges? I mean, there are companies who make beveled edges. Like if you got like a really like a, that's more like if you have a 2 or 3 millimeter thick pick, like a really thick pick, they'll bevel the edges, but not like a normal thickness pick. All right. Anyways, good question. Next question. LD. Leo in the house. Hashtag Texas Music. Thanks for answering my question. Hope Angela's mother is okay.
She is.
She is. She's fantastic. If you didn't live in Canton, what other Texas town or city would you choose to live in? Also, when should I change the tubes in my amp? I've had it over a decade and it has the original tubes. 2 questions from LD. All right. If we didn't live in Canton, Texas, where would we live in Texas?
In Texas, I would probably pick either Nacogdoches. Go back to Nacogdoches. I liked Nacogdoches.
Yeah. We lived in Nacogdoches for 2.5 years.
Yep. I liked it. Close enough, you know, you drive to Tyler and it'd be like a little trip. It's almost like going into like
Nacogdoches is where Stephen F. Austin State University, Axon Jacks is.
It's a pretty community. I think that, what is it, like 75,000 or
no, it's like
30,000,
25,000. I don't know.
Anyways, it's a small town, but
well,
big enough.
13,000 of those people is the
college,
the university.
Yes.
So over half the population is college kids.
Yes. So I would like there because I'm familiar with it and it's growing. So it has like all this potential of, you know, but it's still like a small community.
Yeah, small town vibe.
So you have all the different restaurants and you have all the different vibes and you have the live music.
College football.
And college football. But it's still small where you can actually have a community of people where you know. Either that or probably a place like Round Rock or Pflugerville or
Pflugerville,
somewhere near,
which is a suburb of Austin.
Yes, of Austin, San Marcos, something like that. So not Austin exactly, because Austin is just no thank you. But
Oh, come on now. That's our
it's too
state
much. It's too
capital.
much. It's just way too much. It is way too much.
Too many hipsters.
But
Austin's
outside
too.
where you can like go in and because the outskirts places
Right.
in Austin, there's a lot of great stuff, live music and food and just people and
Yeah.
just different, cultures and all that kind of fun stuff. But those towns are small enough where you can actually feel
Small
like
town vibe, but you could drive into Austin pretty quickly if you wanted to.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. I can
Either
see
that or maybe like Frisco, like
Rockwall.
north. Yeah, Rockwall.
We talked about Rockwall.
We have talked about Rockwall. I would love. Yeah, Rockwall would be right up there.
Rockwall's
Would
kind of
tie. It would tie with Round Rock.
yeah. Rockwall's kind of outside of Dallas. It's not quite a suburb of Dallas.
No,
it's a little bit
because
further
it's not
out.
Dallas. It's
than-
more like Mesquite, Garland.
yeah.
It's a few towns away from Dallas.
Rockwall's nice. Like we've driven through there, but we go there sometimes to go shopping because it's
Yeah.
just. I mean, it's small. I mean, it's not small like Canton small, but I mean they've got like
It's about the size of Nacogdoches.
yeah. They don't have a college there, but
No, but they have big high schools.
big high schools, plenty of shopping stuff, and they have houses that look like castles. I'm just saying, for all you guys who live overseas, like in England, you can buy a castle in Rockwall for about $480,000, maybe $500,000. Like it's a freaking 4,000 square foot with
A moat.
a drawbridge and a moat, and like you drive under it into the garage, and there's a tower for the princess, and freaking $480,000. I mean,
Easy.
Texas is where it's at, man.
It really
But
is. So I guess Rockwall would be your answer.
well, that's the one we've talked about that we actually was like, yeah, we could move here. Like we've gone there, like and to get away for the weekend, we'll go to like the Hilton Hotel.
Oh, there's
in
lots of
Rockwall.
tornadoes in Rockwall.
There has been a lot of tornadoes lately.
That's my only thing. It's like going up
I don't
north,
like that.
north towards Oklahoma, more tornadoes.
Yeah, South Texas. would be-
Mid belly button Texas, not a lot of tornadoes.
I like the idea of
But
like,
a lot of state parks, and it's still green.
yeah, I like the idea of like a suburb of Austin.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Like Pflugerville.
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 Pflugerville. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah,
Or north of Dallas, maybe. But I don't know. Tornadoes.
tornadoes south of Dallas, maybe.
South side.
Las Colinas.
South side Dallas.
Yes, maybe. Yeah, like Fort
West
Worth
side. Fort Worth.
ish.
Fort
maybe.
Worth is all right,
Yeah.
actually.
Maybe between Dallas and Fort Worth, a little sub town. Forney would be fine. That's literally like next door.
That's not that far.
That's not
Terrell?
a big jump.
You
Yeah.
can go move to
How
Terrell.
about Gun Barrel?
Home of Jamie Foxx, Terrell, Texas.
That's
Let's
right.
go to Terrell. Let's go to
Longview, home of Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey, girl. all right. It's a lot of
Austin, home of Sandy Bullock.
Sandra.
She's from Austin,
Oh, that's
Texas.
right. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably where.
It's one of those places.
Yeah. I like all the like you can do stuff in those towns. Like there are things that you can actually do.
Not Houston.
No. I don't have any desire to ever go anywhere near Houston. I don't care for it like at all.
The traffic is always weird. Like traffic
just-
is crazy. Like
I
they're always
just
doing
don't-
construction in
Like
Houston.
whenever I went like when we went to or I went by myself to go see Nicole and the twins. My sister had twins. That's 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But went there by myself and it was literally like if you're looking at a map of Texas, like here's here's Houston, and it was like literally like right there. But because it was a main highway coming out of Houston and I left at rush hour, I nearly died. Like because it's a port town, the amount of semi trucks that are coming out of Houston,
Right.
and it's literally like they're leaving Houston like their butts are on fire. They are just like shooting out of there, just like get me the heck out of here.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They're
I
going
think-
between. They're cutting each other off.
Yeah.
It is like
I think traffic
insane.
is definitely worse in Houston than it is
Oh my
in
gosh!
Dallas.
So I'm like, nope, I will never go anywhere near it. I've had nightmares about that place, and I've never even lived there. Like I've had driving nightmares
Oh yeah.
about Houston, and that's as far as I've ever gone.
I got some sweet barbecue though, man.
Yeah. But see, that was still like on the. It wasn't like deep in.
I don't remember where that was.
Yeah.
We'll have
It's
to
like
go back.
a blur.
We'll have to go back.
The whole place is a blur. You know, cousin Donna lives down there.
Yeah.
I have family down there, but I've never visited. I'm so sorry I haven't visited you.
San Antonio is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, San Antonio is very pretty.
I like San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Been there many times.
I do. San Antonio is a beautiful town.
San Antonio.
And it has really great culture, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love
There's
it.
some good Tex-Mex in San
Sure
Antonio.
enough.
Believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not.
Yes.
Tex-Mex. San Antonio would be okay. There's lots of great.
I love that you can go there and you can go to a Mexican restaurant and it'll be actual mariachis.
Yeah.
I love it. Like real ones.
Like real mariachis. Not East Texas.
No, you don't find that here.
You don't find that so much. up in
It'll be
East Texas.
awesome though.
All right. So there you go, LD. Any of those
Any
10
of those places.
cities.
And y'all are like, I have no idea
You're
what,
like, what?
any of those places
Who?
you're talking about.
Where?
They would probably recognize Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and San Antonio. And
Yeah, Austin.
And Austin. There are places outside those
yeah.
places.
His other question was, when should I change the tubes in my amp? I've had it over a decade and has original tubes. You should change them when they die.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no need to change them ahead of time.
It's not like strings.
Yeah, I'll use this example because I have my mid-90s, early to mid-90s Mesa Boogie dual rectifier, right? It still has the original tubes in it from the 90s, right? And so I took it to a clinic where Randall Smith, who's the inventor of all the Mesa Boogie stuff, Randall Smith, and he was doing a clinic and a talk, and you got to meet him, shake his hand and stuff, and like he had autograph stuff. So I got him to autograph my dual rectifier. It's like, check it out. I brought it with me so he could autograph it. And he was looking at it. And he's like, son, these are the original tubes. I'm like, I know. He's like, you know we make tubes, right? He was laughing because he was like, they have them here at the place we're at. He's like, we have some tubes, Mesa Boogie tubes. Card was full. Sorry about that. So Randall said, if they're still working, just keep using them. Mm-hmm. Now I could put new tubes in it, and he said it would change the sound with fresh tubes.
Yeah,
But if I was happy with it now, and there wasn't any problems, he said just keep them in there. So that's what I would do. Unless you're having any microphonic problems or squealing or some crazy whatever, then they're probably still working. So don't worry about it. But also buy some, take those out, put new ones in, see if it changes the sound, or you get a boost in power or whatever. But yeah, there's no real like you should change them every 6,000 miles kind of a thing. Change them when they die. Like a light bulb. Should I change this light bulb? Does it still work? No, keep it. There you go. Thank you, LD. Great question. Next question, Stephen Scharf. Ryan, I hear so much about the EMG James Hetfield guitar pickups, but what about the Kirk Hammett pickup set? Also, Angela, I hope your mom is doing well and healing nicely.
Thank you. She is.
She is.
You don't know that by now.
Everybody's asking questions about
I
Vanessa.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll have to tell Vanessa that
Yes.
the YouTube world is concerned about her.
Exactly.
She
gets so mad at us for even mentioning it.
What are you
would
telling
you tell
complete
people?
strangers about me cutting myself? Well, the Kirk Hammett pickups just came out like maybe a year ago. They're pretty new.
Right.
And so I don't think a lot of people have tried them and used them. So that's probably why they're not as popular as the James Hetfield pickups. I was about to say something kind of controversial. I don't know if I should or not.
No.
What I was going to say was, I don't know that Kirk is as popular as James when it comes to the number of people he's influenced to play guitar. I was going to say that, which isn't bad, I don't think. Because when I was, a kid learning to play guitar, I absolutely looked up at James Hetfield was the guy. I mean, Kirk, I didn't dislike Kirk. I don't think he's a bad player, any of that stuff. He gets a lot of crap, but, James is kind of the guy that I'm like, yes. And plus, on all the old records, that's what you heard. He played all the rhythm parts. And so when Kirk only played the solos, so what you heard on the albums was just mostly James. But I was going to say that, but then I remembered, I think, Kirk's signature ESP guitars and LTDs, like they've sold a bazillion Kirk Hammett guitars. So he's pretty popular. Like they've sold a truckload of Kirk Hammett signatures. Yeah, when it comes to signature guitars, they might be tied for the amount of signature ESPs, LTDs sold. I mean, there's a lot of Kirk Hammett guitars out there in the world. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know why we don't hear much about it. I don't have any. I haven't even really looked deep into them. Like, I should get those. I probably should, because I am a big EMG fan. And I should get them and compare them and see if we can tell a big difference between them and James. I know James's are probably based on the 81 and 60, which was his regular set for a while. So I'm reasonably sure the 81 and 60 is sort of the foundation they started with for his pickups. I could be completely wrong. They could have modeled them off of more, you know, traditional pickups, but I would assume that was the basis. And Kirk used 81s and 81s.
Yeah.
Like he had an 81 and 81. That was his set for the longest time.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they don't get as much love as the headset does, but I should check them out. Maybe I'll call EMG tomorrow and go, hey,
maybe you should.
can I get a set of Kirks? Kirky pickups. What do you guys think? Thank you for the question, Stephen. Final question.
They got.
Oh my gosh, because it's been like 2 hours. Fat philosopher with 2 T's, F-A-T-T. Philosopher. If 10% of the population are left-handed, why don't guitar stores stock 10% left-handed guitars instead of these super expensive boutique guitars that never sell? My local shop in Japan has 130 guitars, including 30 over the $3,000 price range that sit on the wall for months. Lefties, 1 Squire Bullet Strat.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, FATT philosopher. I guess you're in Japan. That's pretty rad. I would love to go to Japan.
We would love it.
We should go visit sometime.
We should.
Nicholas
would poop his pants.
Poop his pants.
He loves everything Japanese.
He's all about the Gundams.
Yes.
Like he has,
and they have that giant one.
They have a giant, like life-size.
I know.
1-to-1 scale Gundam. He would literally poop his pants.
Yes. So that would be awesome to go to Japan.
Yeah, I would love to. They got a lot of killer guitars there. Like they got guitar stores everywhere.
Yeah.
So interesting question. Well, I think the thing is there might be 10% of the population are left-handed, but there are a lot of left-handed people who play guitar right-handed.
Right.
Like there's a pretty significant number of lefties who play. I don't want to say righty. I just want to say traditional, like traditional guitar. So you have to think about that. It's not really, even of the 10%, not all of those people want to play guitar left-handed or left-handed. Because I'm left-handed. There are a pretty big chunk of them who play the way a right-handed player does.
Right.
So there's that. So it's even smaller than that. And the real answer is it's supply and demand. Like of the population of the world, of the 10% people who are left-handed, how many of them play guitar?
Right.
Right? There might be 1% of the world's population.
Of the 10%.
Yeah, 1% of the 10% of left-handed people might be guitar players.
And it might be 0.0.
It might be even less than that.
0.0001%.
Right.
Because that's still like millions. Yeah, 10% of 8 billion people. It's a lot. What is,
But still, it comes down to supply and demand. If there was that big of a demand, if there was a 10% of all guitar sales was demanded to be left-handed, there would be that many more guitars. The fact is, there's just not that. There's not that demand. So
so there you go.
Yeah, the market goes with demand. So even though, like, as a left-handed player, you want more left-handed guitars, the market as a whole.
Right. But then, like you said, if there's like 0.0001% of the 10% of the world's population plays guitar, how many of those people actually care if they have a right or a traditional or a left-handed guitar.
Yeah.
So a lot of them, let's say out of that, there's another 0.00001% that we like, yeah, no, I can play right-handed. Our battery's about to die.
Our battery is about to die, but Nicholas is here.
He saved the day. We hungry. No, just sit it over there. You don't have to hand
Yeah,
it.
we're not gonna eat our noodles right here on camera.
Come in here, wave real quick before the battery dies. We can get you on.
Wave. We were just talking about you pooping your pants.
At what age?
He goes, at what age?
What age?
Last week.
No, if we went to Japan and you got to see the Gundam
the
statue.
real life Gundam.
Probably poop my pants.
Probably would.
That's what we said.
That's what we said.
That's what she said. No.
That's what Gundam said. Yeah, no, and also, they probably, if that's all they have on their wall now, so imagine having, some expensive right-handed guitars that sit on your wall for a few months. They could have had some left-handed guitars that sat on their wall for years, right? So maybe these other ones take a few months to sell, but they could have held on to some lefties for years.
Forever.
And so at the end of the day, it's like
Supply and demand.
supply and demand, and is it worth it? Like, what if they had, imagine if they had a whole rack of left-handed guitars and never sold any, or sold one out of 20 guitars.
That's a lot of money sitting there.
That's a lot of money just hanging.
Hoping that those left-handed people will come in.
Yeah. So there's a little bit more to it than just like, well, 10% of the world's left-handed. Guitar store should have 10% of their inventory should be left-handed guitars. It just doesn't work that way.
Yep.
So
It'd be cool if it did.
yeah.
Because then you can actually really, truly get that supply out to the demand.
Well, and there are some stores. There's I forget what it's called, but there's one store that's all they do is stock left-handed guitars. And they're only one store. It's not like there's one of those in every place, but those I forget what it's called. Can't remember the name of it, but that's their whole thing. It's like they only sell left-handed guitars, and obviously it's not just local. Their thing is online sales because
Right.
there's no way in one small town you could only sell
left-handed
you could
guitar.
only stock left-handed guitars and make
Yeah.
make a business out of it. So
I could
you could do anything.
totally sell only left-handed anything. Left-handed straws, left-handed
Left-handed forks,
computers,
left-handed pianos,
left-handed cameras.
left-handed cars, where you shift with this hand.
I could totally sell left-handed shoes.
I know you could. So, yeah, it's supply and demand. If there was enough demand to warrant that stocking, then stores would do it.
You demand.
I demand. We've had a left-handed guitar. I just sold it.
Yep, we did.
Yeah, only one left-handed guitar in 10 years. So there's the demand. There's been the demand for us. But there you go. Those are my thoughts on that. Take it or leave it. It is pretty much a supply and demand thing.
Yeah.
It comes down. I mean, everything comes down to that. So, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know how long this is. I feel like this has been really long.
It's so long.
We were just going to do 5 questions. Remember that a couple
Yes.
weeks ago? I said we're just going to do 5 questions because I can't be editing 2 hours of video.
Yes, you did say
I
that.
did say that. Apparently, I lied to us. All lies. All right. Thank you guys for all the questions. Please leave your comments and your thoughts on each of these questions. If you have a question for next week, please leave it below in the comment section. I was going to say, if you watch this whole video from beginning to end, like all 2 hours of it, you are a super legend.
Yes.
And we would like to know that if you did that. So we have a secret hashtag of the day. And you'll leave that. If you watch the whole thing, please type that secret hashtag. That means you made it to the end here. If you didn't, please don't type it. We're just curious. Of the people who actually comment, who watch the whole thing, there's a fair few of y'all who do that. So thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
And the secret hashtag of the day is hashtag you the man. Hashtag you the man.
M-A-N.
M-A-N. If you watch this whole video.
I'm done with you.
No, you're not. You love
I
me.
want some food.
I want some food too. We're gonna eat because our son just brought us some food. All right, so thank you guys so much. We will see y'all in the next video. Make sure you subscribe. If you want an R&A Music t-shirt, links are in the description. I should have said that at the beginning. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
Music needs you.
And you need the music.
And we need to keep it alive for the next generation of musicians coming up.
That's right.
So thank you guys so much. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.